Over the last few weeks, we have introduced you to the Center for Specialized Veterinary Care. You've also met the center's neurologist. Now in our final chapter, we introduce you to the oncologist, Dr. Jerry Post, and 3 of his patients.
Cancer is not a death sentence.
This is our first dog together. We adopted him, he was underweight, and he turned out to be one of the best dogs.
I was sick to my stomach when I first found out, and they're just really good with the animals here.
Therapy for cancer does not mean your pet has to have a diminished quality of life.
A year ago, he had a mast cell tumor on his side.
The first vet told us to just let him die.
The Center for Specialized Veterinary Care really needed to have a very special oncologist, and we were very fortunate to have Dr. Gerald Post join our team.
You know, certainly nobody wants to ever see an oncologist, walk into the door, but, it's nice when that pet, if it didn't come and see us, would have a 2-week survival time, and now is alive, a year later. I know.
He's absolutely amazing with the animals. I mean, he gets on the floor with them. He's great. I'm very happy with it.
I think that the important thing to know about veterinary oncology is that our goal is not just extending animals' quantity of life at the expense of quality of life. Chrissy is a 10-year-old domestic short-hair female spay who was diagnosed with gastrointestinal lymphoma in July of '05.
She went down a bit. She's 3.38, but it's just very slight.
Being a veterinarian, not only being a veterinary oncologist, you have to be able to communicate with an animal on a very different level than obviously asking somebody, how they're feeling. We rely obviously much more on owner input. So we went 0.02 down in weight, not a huge amount. The owners who pursue oncologic therapy for their animals are incredibly devoted and are incredibly attuned to their pets. So it's actually a joy to deal with them.
He's got skin cancer on his face, and I had brought him in about 2 weeks ago and started his treatment. This will be his 3rd treatment today.
Miko had bilateral facial mast cell tumors that were grade 2 mast cell tumors that were diffuse underneath both eyes, extending down both cheeks. Because of where they were, we couldn't remove them. So we started him on chemotherapy.
Once a week for the first 4 weeks, and then every other week for 8 weeks after that.
Within really 1 week, there was a dramatic change in the tumors of his cheeks. Much less red, much less crusting, much more normal skin.
He's doing great. They said he was going to react really well to the chemo, and he is, so I'm very happy.
Banffy has 2 mast cell tumors under both armpits, and our doctors suggested coming here because they're pretty much the best.
Banffy is a 6-year-old male-neutered Bernese Mountain Dog who was diagnosed with multiple large ulcerated mast cell tumors. He had 1 dose of chemotherapy, and his tumors, based upon the measurements and what we're feeling in there, have decreased by over 90%.
Amazingly, the softball-sized tumors under both armpits are gone.
I'd like to say it's typical, but no, it's not typical. We like to see this, and every once in a while we do get cancers that are that responsive to chemotherapy.
We had no doubts in our mind that he wouldn't get the best care here. We knew it right away.
Spend the extra time, the extra money. They're like family, they're just, they're in your heart. You just do what you got to do, just like you do to your kids.
He finished his chemo, and now he's on maintenance. And today he looks good again. He'll be 10 August 23rd.
Basically, we look at the successes, and the successes so much counterbalance the quote-unquote failures. And even if it's just a life extension of a day, sometimes that day is the most important day in that pet's life or that owner's life. But for me, knowing that I've made a difference in that pet's quality and quantity of life is just a joy.
We hope that you've enjoyed our in-depth features on the center. As always, if you'd like more information on them, call them up at 516-420 888-888-0000 or visit them in cyberspace at vetspecialist.com.